Hello guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Three Hammers podcast. I believe 154, I think it is. It might be 153, I'm not sure. Mate, what a day yesterday. What a day of sport. Funny results everywhere. Premier League, boxing, West Ham. Let's start with West Ham, mate. What a frustrating game that was, but what a win.
Oh, yeah. Massive result. Like you say, frustrating game. I think the first, 10 minutes, 15 minutes were really good. But then we just lost control of the game after that first sort of 10, 15 minutes. And they were all over us, to be fair. Like, they were completely all over us the rest of that first half. But then Moyes obviously put a rocket up them at half time, came out second half flying. And do I think it was deserved? I think a draw probably would have been all right. But, you've got to be absolutely delighted with the win. Last minute winner, fantastic. Hello, Gaza.
Yeah, we're all good, mate.
Hi, Dunks.
Yeah, I think, Rafinha obviously was always going to be the danger man, weren't he, for them? A player that I really like him as a player, fantastic player. He scored the early goal after having that sighter. And our second goal, obviously, I'm glad it was Bowen, but I think, was it given as an own goal or did he get given that goal?
I'm not sure, mate. It took two deflections. Two deflections, didn't it? So I don't know. It probably went down as an own goal.
He deserves a goal of all players. I think he's been excellent this year. I am one of his critics sometimes, in terms of, final decision making and sometimes being a bit greedy. But I think he was excellent against Manchester United the other day. Excellent again yesterday. And then what about the winning goal, mate? We keep talking about this guy, finishing. You've been his biggest critic for years, and I know you've changed your opinion a bit, mate. That second goal, if that's Lukaku scoring that goal, it's all over the news, mate.
I didn't know he had that in his locker. I don't know if Antonio knew he had that in his locker, to be honest with you.
The touch, amazing.
The little touch over / around the defender was brilliant. And then just rolled it in, nice, nice and calm finish.
He didn't panic.
Yeah, brilliant. He's come on like absolute leaps and bounds. Imagine if we had, obviously Antonio's not, what is he, 31? Imagine if we had this Antonio 5 years ago. Like when he was playing right back. Imagine, that's what I mean. Imagine if we had him playing as a striker and we had this coaching for him and he had this maturity back then, we would have had some player for the last few years. But yeah, I'm fantastic.
What about Rice's ball as well? Rice's ball for the goal as well. Again, I said it. Kevin De Bruyne passes that pass.
Yeah, that was brilliant, and it was good to see. Like I say, the second half was much better. The first half, I thought Rice was anonymous. Souček was terrible. He was having probably his worst 45 in a West Ham shirt. I don't think he's been on it the last few weeks.
Really off. His passing's really off.
He just doesn't look himself. You have to put that down to just being burnt out. The amount of football he's played over the last 2 years. He's played every single game for West Ham. He's played every single game for his country. He must be absolutely knackered. I think Souček needs a proper rest. Resting him, giving him a Thursday off. It's not going to cut it. He needs a proper rest.
Yeah.
But second half, he was probably our best player.
Yeah, as Greg just says there. But second half, he was being himself again when he was getting in the box. He was being a nuisance. Yeah, brilliant performance in the end. Like the second half, really, really good. And I don't know if you see the interview, mate. Jim White and Simon Jordan this week, and they were saying about West Ham fans. That this is one thing that I would agree with them. Said that they're always on a mindset of, yeah, we won, but when's it going to go wrong? Is it time now to, actually sit there and appreciate, mate, we have got a fantastic football team. We really have. If we was a neutral looking at West Ham now, if this was an Everton or a Leicester back in the day, you'd go, you know what, they're a good team, West Ham.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about it, mate. And I think any West Ham fan will agree we've got a fantastic team at the minute, but you can't, this is, for me and you, mate, it's like fucking 30 years of this being hammered into us.
It's going to go wrong.
It's going to go wrong at some point.
We're all thinking it, mate. Yeah, it's great now. Antonio's 6 in 6, but if he gets injured, do you know what I mean? And then you'll start believing that again, don't you?
I know, mate. Like I say, yeah, it's he's right. I think it is time now to say, yeah, we've got a good team, we've got a good manager. Setup's going well, but yeah, you can't, like I say, mate, for me and you, 30 years of it always going wrong at some point. It's going to take a while. It's going to take more than a season and a bit to get over that.
I would argue we've had a good 18 months.
Yeah,
I think we've been a really good team for about 18 months now.
Mm.
So on Antonio, mate, 6 in 6. How many can this boy get, mate? You know, Alan Shearer said that, you know, the boy has only ever got to about 10 or 12. Mate, if he stays fit, surely he can smash 20 goals. Surely.
I was going to say, oh, you'd think so. 20 goals for a West Ham striker.
Johnny Artson, mate, last one.
Yeah. He could do it, mate. That's the big thing if he stays fit. And to be fair, and I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to say, but he looks. I don't know whether it's work that's been going on behind the scenes, but you always had that fear with him that he was just going to pull up at any time. I haven't had that this season.
He's not. It doesn't look like someone made a really good point. Doesn't look like he's a headless chicken. You know, like where he would just run and chase down everything, which was great. We loved him for that. But he seems to be a bit more cleverer with it now when he's going to do them runs or when he's going to move.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
Who was your man of the match yesterday? I'll give it to Ben Rama. I thought he was excellent. Defensive work was just ridiculous.
Sorry, lads. Yeah, no, I agree. He was by far our best player in the first half. He was the only one who really looked like he wanted it in that first half. He was bang on it. He was all over the pitch, making things happen up front.
Rare bad game for defending. Actually. Rare.
Fornells didn't have the best game. But yeah, no, Ben Rama was brilliant. Brilliant. You know, all over the pitch, running back, making tackles, defending, getting us going, moving forward. I would agree with that, mate. I'd say Ben Rama, man of the match. Yeah, really, really good game from him. Really good game.
Mate, definitely. Top performance, you know. Mate, and because we haven't spoke since then, I think it's only fair that we talk about the two Man United games just briefly. The league game, mate, that was, I think you said it yourself, mate. You went for a stage of, I don't want to watch football anymore.
I know we were going to do a video together after the game. Couldn't do it, mate. I don't know if there was a worse possible way to lose that match.
Oh, it was awful.
It was just.
Did you think we was good? Did you think we was good in that game? I thought we played okay.
Yeah. You can't. You know, it weren't. You can't say it weren't one of them games where you were disappointed and gutted afterwards because we played crap, because we didn't. You know, we played fine. But just the way that everything went, you know, Lingard coming on and scoring in the last minute, you think he's scored a last minute winner. Obviously, of course, it was going to be Lingard. Great goal. It was a good goal, but I don't know if it could have been defended better. Maybe this is where I will say, maybe if Dawson was playing, because Dawson played with him last season, he'd know what he was going to do. He'd know he was going to do that little cut inside, and then obviously penalty, last kick of the game. You're thinking, here we go, this is it, unbelievable, we've got away with this.
What was you thinking though? You know, in hindsight, you know, it's been a week now. Was it the right thing? You know, if he scores, he's a hero. Moyes is a genius. No,
it wasn't the right thing to do. You can't bring a player off as good as Noble is at penalties, as good as he is. You can't bring a player off the bench for his first kick of the game to be a penalty in that pressure. No, it didn't. Look at England, mate. You know, it didn't work for England in the summer. What was it? Sancho, 2-3 of them.
Yes, and Sancho, wasn't it Sancho as well?
Came off the bench to take penalties, missed. You know, it doesn't work. You can't. Like I say, as good as they are, and I know a lot of people say, but it's only a penalty. You know, it's just a penalty, but you know, if that's literally your first kick of the ball, you're coming on completely cold. I think he choreographed the penalty. I see people saying it was a good penalty. It was a terrible penalty. It was a perfect height.
40 penalties. 40
it was the perfect height. There was no power on it. No, it was a terrible decision. I don't know. The only thing I'll say is I don't know if anyone who was on the pitch wanted to take it.
Well, Rice looked confident. I
don't know, mate. You say that. Rice picked the ball up, but I feel like he didn't pick the ball up straight away. It was as if he picked it up as if, I don't really want this, but I'm the captain. No one else is taking it. I guess I'm going to
We didn't put up much of an argument as well.
Didn't put up any argument at all, mate.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was, but no, wrong decision. You would have been better off letting him take it, letting one of the other guys take it. But there you go. It was saved, and it was heartbreaking, and it was devastating. If you, in hindsight now, when you look back on it, at the end of the day, that miss, it was painful and it hurt. But realistically, it's cost us 1 point. In the grand scheme of things across an entire season, probably ain't going to make much difference. And then we got our revenge in the cup anyway. And let's be honest, you'd rather win in the cup than win that game in the league, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Just before we go on to the cup game now, mate, one question I would have asked, one question I want to ask you is, this was the team we got to see it without Antonio. If Antonio was playing that game, do you think it potentially would have been a different result?
Yeah, massively. Yeah, definitely. I like Bowen, but he did well. Bowen did well trying to lead the line, and he makes good runs. But he's not something for the defenders to worry about, really. Do you know what I mean? Especially pacey defenders when they know they can get back if he gets in behind them. Whereas Antonio's a completely different proposition because the power. What have
you made of, the guy who always gets us our dislikes, Vlasic, mate? What have you made of him so far?
Early days, mate. It's early days. You can't judge him on 2.5 performances. You got to give the man time. He's only just come into the league. We've seen this with Benrahma
yesterday. I didn't even realise he came on.
But you see this with Benrahma. You see it with Fornals. People writing him off too early. You've got to give him time. You can't expect everything all at once. You've got to give him a bit of time. Let him settle in a little bit.
Yeah. Cup game, mate. May as well touch on it. What a performance! All the headlines is Man United's B team lose and West. How did West Ham win? Mate, we were fantastic. I'm sorry. Diop, one of the best games I've seen him play. Dawson was immense as well in that game. We made 10 changes as well, and I think that's what's forgotten. Oh, Man United made 11, mate. We made 10. Yeah,
exactly. 10 changes. So no one can say that was our first team, our strongest team. The only player in was Bowen. But it was brilliant. I think that just shows at the moment, the good strength we've got in depth there. And because we've got good competition, the players were fighting. It looked like they were actually fighting for a place. Like you say, Diop was fantastic. I know Dawson got man of the match. I would have given it to Diop. Both of them were brilliant. But that was for me. It's not the first time. Not the first time someone said that, mate. I remember when he went to Man United, I was getting sent the news articles saying, "Oh, that's a great move for you, mate. Great move. Well done." There's
a good point actually.
Yeah.
We had a great first season.
Massively. We said this, while we were watching the game. Such a shame because Fredericks has done really, really well when he has played.
Every time he's played.
Yeah. When he has played this season, he's done really well. Brilliant run, to cut inside. Again, I know there's loads of comments about it, and we keep saying it. If that was another player on another team, you wouldn't hear the end of it. That little cut inside from Fredericks and then the pullback, mate, that was fantastic.
Yeah,
brilliant. The whole team were fantastic. It was a brilliant performance.
Was there any point you were nervous in that game? I think the 3 chances at the end. Bowen, Noble, Yarmolenko, God, heart in mouth moment.
Yeah, especially obviously the Yarmolenko one, when the Yarmolenko, I don't know how he missed on his left foot as well. If there was any player on the pitch at that point in time for West Ham, you'd expect to put that away. It was Yarmolenko, and he obviously he missed, and then Noble goes through, and you're thinking, this is it. This is Noble's redemption. It's the keeper. Yeah, then you're worrying, then you're thinking...
Bowen at the post, didn't he? Literally Bowen at the post within like a 3-minute spell.
And then you're thinking, this is trouble now. But realistically, mate, I don't think they really did trouble us, I really don't. Areola, I thought Areola did really well, made a couple of really good saves.
Areola, I forgot to mention
they had the one, didn't they, when... it was Greenwood, wasn't he? Just after he came on.
Yeah. He was pinged in, wasn't he? Yeah.
It was a lovely move, to be fair. And he did really well to save that Areola. I thought he had a good game.
What about Alex Krell? Making his debut. Mate, I thought defensive duties wise, he was fantastic. His passing let him down. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't.
Defensively, fantastic, breaking up play.
I didn't know what to make of him at first, but he was real busy, really, really busy. I saw someone compare it. Obviously, not not anywhere near the same level, but I saw someone compare him to Kante. The way that he's just constantly running, chasing people down, niggling at them.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
nuisance. He was making like a bit like Phillips was for England during the Euros. You know, like just getting them little naughty ones in, but not enough to get a booking.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, I think he had a good game. He had a good game for his debut, especially. He's a bit raw, but he's definitely something different. You know, like I say, that he brings a bit of energy into the midfield. You know, he's a proper disruptor. And Rice is Rice is a Rolls Royce. You know, he's fantastic. He's positioning. He's putting a foot in to make the tackle. Souček, like I say, I don't think Souček's been great this season, but he's not that same type of player. He gives us something different. He gives us that energy, just someone buzzing around, a little terrier, just attacking everyone and just nipping at them. Like you say, mate, a disruptor. It was good.
Yeah, good to see Arthur back as well, as Andy says there from West Ham United. I know you're a big fan of him. He was good. What about Fornals, mate? How good was he when he came on? Brilliant. He was ridiculous, mate. Some of the Sancho.
Yeah, the little nutmeg was the highlight, obviously, but some of the passes were unbelievable. Like the way that I know you said it to me the other day, mate. It's how quick he is with it. You know,
transition.
Yeah, he's so quick. He doesn't need where. I love Noble, I love Mark, but if Mark Noble, when he picks the ball up, Mark's got a good pass on him. Mark can make really good passes, but he needs to get the ball, he needs to stop it, he needs to look up, see where everything is. Then he makes those passes. Fornals is just bang. Like he knows where everybody is. He knows where everyone on the pitch is. Gets the ball, bang, releases it, gone. Unbelievable, mate. And again, we've said this before on the podcast. Everyone's talking about selling Rice. Mate, Fornals is our best player. Fornals is our best player.
Yeah, mate. Antonio's been, the goal scoring machine. But for me, Fornals, early shout, Hammer of the Year, he's been sensational.
If you're talking actual quality of footballer, Fornals head and shoulders, mate. He's fantastic.
Mate. The joy to watch, like I say, absolute joy to watch afternoon. So we're through. Obviously, we beat them, mate, and then typical West Ham. Talking about are we a big team? Man City get pulled out. Yeah, how did you feel after that? It's just typical us, isn't it?
Listen, it doesn't bother me, mate. It doesn't bother me. In the last round, City, the team they put out was a joke. Like I say their reserve team. They played De Bruyne, they played Foden. They played Mahrez. Like their team is still ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
I think the defense was still like Ake and like people like that.
No, they did. They had kids. No, they had kids in defense. Yeah, so they had kids in defense, but the midfield they had Torres. Their attack unbelievable. But listen, you're gonna have to beat Man City at some point.
Yeah, it's their cup at the end of the day.
Yeah, you're gonna have to beat them at some point. I think you're better off getting them early rather than later, because if you get them later on, they're going to be more into it. Do you know what I mean? They're going to be like, right, we've got a chance to win this. Maybe they're out of other competitions. They're going to go harder later on in the competition than I think they will early on. So I think, mate, honestly, I think it's better to get them early. It's better to get them early. And
listen, mate, if we beat them, so I'm just putting a comment in the chat there. Hit the like button, guys, if you haven't already. Yeah, mate, you've got to beat them at some point. And if we do beat them, God, mate, the mantra of this channel, keep believing. I start believing. You know what I mean? It's
there, mate. It's there, And I don't think we should fear them. I really don't. I don't think we should fear them.
I don't fear anyone. Listen, apart from the Man United game, as I said, if Antonio was playing, I think it could have been a different result. I think whenever Antonio is in our team, I think we have a chance of beating anyone, just because the way the whole team is set up for him, it's built around him. What can we go on to? Oh yeah, obviously this week, mate, is the first home game of the Rapid Vienna. I think this is meant to be the easiest game of the group, isn't it? I think because it was like Dynamo was the first one. Mate, if we win these two home games now, the Europa League ones, more or less through, aren't we? 9 points should be more or less through.
Should be, yeah, and that's got to be the goal. That's got to be
the home games now, yeah.
I don't even think that's got to be the goal. That's got to be the expectation. That's got to be the expectation, mate. We couldn't have asked for a better group. Like you say, the so-called toughest game we absolutely smashed. Has to be the expectation to go out and win this game, and then solidify ourselves. Right, this is it. We're pushing on into the knockout stages, and I think we will, mate. I think we will.
Yeah,
Big
mate.
game, big.
Yeah, no, it is a
like,
big game. It is a big game.
Proper European football at West Ham. Amazing.
After that first performance, have we spoke since then? No, we haven't. Have we? We haven't actually spoke since the first game, because obviously we played the Man United on a Sunday. Like, just a little reflection on that, mate. That first performance was so professional, and then Rice scored that absolute wonder goal. Mate, we looked comfortable. We looked like we've been playing in Europe for years. We wasted time on the ball in defence. All these little tricks that top European teams do.
It was weird, mate. It was weird because there's a massive difference in gameplay. I think when we play in the league, we're a very we're a very counter-attacking team. And when you watch the big clubs, but when you watch City, you watch Liverpool, you watch sometimes Man United, the way that they're able to control a game, we did that. You don't normally see that from West Ham.
No point in that game was I scared. No point in that game.
No, we completely controlled that game. Like you say, mate, professional. The commentators, everyone, the pundits were saying how amazing we were. Like, I think it surprised everybody, just how good we looked. We did, like you say, mate, we looked like we've always been there. We were meant to be there. It's fantastic to see.
Yeah. Our next league game, after the Rapid Vienna game, because we'll probably talk again next Sunday. I might do a live watch along, first ever. I might. Is Brentford, mate, and what a result they had yesterday, 3-3 against Liverpool. They gave us a good game in pre-season as well. Ivan Toney, what a player! If we should have signed him. What you expect him in that game, mate? I don't think it's as easy as we'd think, mate. I don't. A tough game, mate.
Mate, I don't think anyone should be thinking it's an easy game. No way. Like you say, look what they just did to Liverpool. No, it's not an easy game at all, mate, by any stretch. It'd be a good game. I think it'd be a tough game. Depends. It's difficult when you look at the Leeds game. It's difficult because nobody plays like Leeds with that intensity for 90 minutes,
I think the way to beat Leeds is exactly how we did it yesterday. Let them come on, soak it. And then they get to about the 75th minute, 80th minute, and they look shattered. Absolutely shattered. I think that's the way to beat them.
Yeah. So it's going to be a different game. We need a different game plan, but I don't fear them. I'm not worried. Obviously, you can't be against promoted teams. You have to be thinking, right, we're going to go and beat the teams that's just come up. You have to
would be up for it, mate. Obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to be thinking you're going to beat the likes of, no disrespect, but like I say, you have to be thinking you're going to beat the promoted teams, especially when you're. Yeah, exactly. But it's not going to be an easy game by any stretch. I hope I'm wrong, and it's the easiest game of the season. But yeah, I wouldn't expect it.
Well, we have got now. Someone made the point, pundit yesterday. Our next 6 games, 5 of them are at home, I believe. This is a key time now, where we can hopefully, keep this going, keep this momentum going. To only lose 1 game in, I think if you include pre-season and stuff, and end the last, I think it was like 1 loss in about 14, 15 games. That's unthinkable, West Ham.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. If you can hear that, that's someone downstairs. Do apologise. The fixtures have been kind to us, to be honest. Who we play after Europe, a lot of home games and less travel. New to the channel, I've not seen you before. Welcome to the channel. There's a rush between the front players shooting at the goal instead of passing the ball to the friends, causing a lot of wasted goals, don't you think?
I don't know. I mean, I can't, off the top of my head, mate, I can't think of any standout opportunities this season where, a player could have just passed it across for a tap in and we didn't do it. I know there was a couple last season, but I can't really think of any standouts this season. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. I'm going to read some of these out now. Moyes and his staff have worked so hard on the fitness stuff. Yeah, mate, listen, if you can run for 90 minutes, I always say it to my kids in my school, if you can run for 90 minutes, you've always got a chance in a game, and that goes right up to obviously the professional level. Glenn says, do a watch along. I'll try, but I can't promise my language. That's the problem. Brentford is like Sheffield United 2 years ago. All right, fellas, in a circle. We have Leeds number 3 wins. Yeah, I'll tell you
Mm.
what, back in the day, though, mate, we didn't. I'll tell you, that was a team that used to do us all the time. What do you make on Leeds, though, mate? Do you think they could go down? Not won a game yet.
I don't think so.
They've been figured out.
No, I don't think so, mate. I think they'll be all right.
But, and
The quality, the quality they've got, some of the players, they've got some fantastic players, and the way they play.
Bamford yesterday either, did they? Didn't they?
Yeah, I think they'll be all right.
Yeah. I can see 5-3 to the Irons. Is that the Brentford game? We have to go all in against Brentford to keep up the momentum. Our record against the bottom half teams last season and so far that's why we have improved so much. That's it. We beat them teams that we, no disrespect, as Paul said, should be beaten. 4-0 should have scored.
You should have done. Yeah, you should have done.
Yeah, that was a massive chance.
I don't know what happened. I don't know. It looked like he slipped. It looked like,
as well, wasn't it? Every touch.
It was an heavy touch, but it looked like his standing leg went just before. But yeah, no. Regardless, he should have scored that.
No, I think everyone is looking at better options with the finishing. Moyes said, "It is what I do. Win." My gosh, he was serious. Certainly was. We're not laughing now, are we? I think Norwich, Spurs, and Arsenal go. I think Newcastle could go. I think Newcastle look really, really poor. Norwich are a banker. Yeah, that's enough of the planning side, mate. Pie Capital, mate. Obviously, that all broke down this week. Inevitable, really, weren't it? When you go on Twitter and you use some geezer who's been on The Apprentice and Rio Ferdinand and Anton Ferdinand to, launch your company. It was never going to go anywhere, was it? Let's be fair. That car crash.
No. We said that from day one. It was never going to happen. So no surprise. The reasoning, apparently they said, because the team's doing so well, it's not the right time to sell. I don't know if that's true, because if that was the case and Sullivan said, no, the team's doing really well, it's not the right time to sell, why would they have done, and they did do all the due diligence. So why would they have done that? Why would Sullivan have let this company go through the books, go through the accounts and all the rest of it? Why would they have done that if it was just it's not the right time to sell? So I don't buy that. Apparently, there were 3 bids in Pie Capital. Apparently, Trip Smith, the guy who's got 10%. The 10% stake, apparently he, behind the scenes at the minute, he was fronting a bid as well that's been turned down. And apparently there's one more. Like, this is all apparently. Yeah. I'm not in the know or nothing, but apparently there's one still in from an American firm, consortium, whatever. I don't know any details. Apparently that's still on the table. Hasn't been rejected. Apparently.
I think that's the key word. Yeah, apparently. Yeah, Paul is not an in the know guy, so don't dig him out or anything like that. He reads a lot of the forums and stuff like that, and
and that's
what on the forums.
That's what it seems to be. It seems apparently there's still one bid in from an American lot, still on the table that hasn't been rejected. So you never know. Don't get me wrong, mate. I'm sure it'll go quiet now, and then the transfer window will come around and it'll all start up again, and we won't spend any money, and that'll be the excuse. But it seems like things are moving. Things are moving.
Yeah,
we're getting towards the end.
I don't think it will happen yet. It might be another year, but I think they're more open to sell than they ever have been. I think. I think this. If a right offer did come in, I think they would sell now. Yeah. But yeah, Pie Capital. No, sorry lads. I'll stick to the pie mash. West Ham United. It's a good question. So we didn't touch on this, mate. What did you make of Kevin Friend's action with Antonio not giving a card, then sort of gave it because of crowd? Yeah, Paul texted me that minute and said it's a joke, and I said he bottled it. When he heard the crowd go. Do you want to say anything on that, mate?
Exactly like you said there, mate. Straight away, I said, text him and said, "This is an absolute joke. This is a joke," and it was a joke. You can't. He didn't give a foul first of all, right? So he didn't see it. Then he went to the monitor, saw it. It was a foul. Not going to dispute that yet. He jumped. Yeah. I don't think it was reckless or anything. He jumped for the ball. It was a foul. Free kick. The referee went over to the monitor, watched it on the monitor, saw it on the monitor, saw it was a foul, didn't think it was a yellow card, And then, like you say, mate, because the crowd saw it on the big screen and then there was a big reaction, he went back and gave. How can you go
It was
back?
a bit double jeopardy. It was a bit double jeopardy, that, I
Yeah,
thought.
how can you go back however long after it was, 30 seconds, a minute later, after giving a free kick? Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen a referee go back 30 seconds to a minute after giving a free kick to give a yellow card?
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
No. But like we said, we're not saying the goal should have been disallowed. That's
Oh
right.
no, yeah, it was a foul. It was a foul. But the fact that, like you say, he went away and then because of the reaction went back and booked him, that was ridiculous. It was a joke. Yeah.
Don't you think it's very strange just to say we'll walk away? Obviously, that's Pi Capital. More Americans, that's all we need. But that's how takeovers happen. Here, nothing, and then new owners.
That's right, mate.
Ben Rama is losing his tenacity in favour of becoming a hard-working player. I disagree, mate. I disagree.
Technicity, yeah. No, you say that. I've said this from day one. Ben Rama surprised me because when he first joined, he had that reputation of being that, exciting, loads of step overs, taking players on. I've never seen it from him since he joined West Ham from day one. I haven't seen that from him, and I've said that. You can go back on this channel and watch our podcast. I've always said that. And that surprised me because that's what I expected him. I've never seen him stand a player up, like we talk about, like Payet used to do, or Arnautovic used to do, Di Canio, if you want to go back further. They stood players up, did tricks, took them on. I've never seen that from Ben Rama, so I don't really agree with that, mate. He's still got the quick feet, but I don't think he's not like a FIFA Street player. Do you know what I
mean? No. He's not a skill merchant. I agree with that, but he's still capable of doing a trick and passing the right ball, and he's a clever player. He's still very, very clever player.
Yeah, he is. He is.
He's seen the monitor and nothing. Plus, it's in slow motion. It's true. Kevin Friend had a shocker. No cards for Leeds. Much happier this weekend than last. I think we all are, mate. Trip Smith, I think that would be the ultimate choice in new ownership. I don't know what happened to my voice there. One other thing, mate. Winston Reid, contract has been terminated. Hasn't played for us since 2018, I think someone said. Where do you stand with Winston, mate?
It's a shame, big shame, mate. If you and this is the thing, if you go back, the problem is you have to go back a long way. You have to go back a long way. You have to go back to that last season at the Bowling. He was immense. One of the best players in the league, one of the best defenders in the league, without a shadow of a doubt. He was being linked with all the big moves. He's been linked with Manchester United,
Arsenal, Liverpool.
Yeah, he was fantastic. Brilliant player. Obviously scored the last ever goal at the Bowling. So regardless, whatever happens, he's in the history books forever. He's always going to be in the history books for West Ham. I think it was criminal. And I know people say this in hindsight. It's easy to say that. I said it at the time. I don't understand what we give him a 6-year contract with a year option.
Wasn't it? 7?
I think it was 6 years with a year option. That's he was a brilliant player and he was being linked with big moves. But 6 years, really, that was insane. At the time, it was insane. To give any footballer a contract like that is insane because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, mate.
And then obviously, but that weren't Winston's fault. It weren't his fault that he got offered that contract, and obviously he took it. It'd be a mug not to. Got injured again, wasn't his fault, and unfortunately, he's just never come back from it. It's a big shame. Big shame.
What about people saying about testimonials and stuff like that? He won't get one. I don't think he will get one. But should he get one?
I don't know. It's difficult because it has been so long, since he played. I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. Not that that's anything against him.
No.
But I don't think so. Not for me.
I'd like to see, to be honest with you, either Thursday night or Sunday afternoon when we play Brentford. I'd like to see him come on a pitch, maybe. But I don't even think he's in the country. I think he put on his Instagram he's flown somewhere. But I would have liked to have seen that, maybe come out on the pitch and say goodbye.
It would have been nice to give him a send off because obviously he didn't get one.
And Gins didn't as well. You know, it's a bit of a shame. You know, two centre backs from the same era. You know, both sort of,
yeah. You know, it's but you know, just like Collins, you know, you move on. You move on.
Yeah, you do, mate. You do. It's sad, but you move on. Good question, this. Are you worried about the delivery from open play, especially from fullbacks? Yeah, our crossing has really, really gone downhill, mate. You know, from being so good at even set pieces as well. You know, we scored 17 set pieces, and it seems that the quality's gone down a little bit.
Yeah, it winds me up, mate, because every time we get a free kick or we get a corner, now the commentators always bang on about that. Oh, West Ham so good from set pieces. West Ham were the most dangerous from set pieces. They know what they're doing. Like I say, when was the last time we scored from one? I feel like they've jinxed us a bit. I think
sometimes we try to be too clever as well with the corner.
And there's Kat wants to get involved in the show. There you go. I think. Yeah, I know what you're saying, mate. And I think, it has been worrying. A lot of the crosses are just going nowhere. They're sort of even yesterday. So many times we had the ball and it was just punted to the other side of the box. Nobody there at all. No one anywhere near it. It has been a little bit worrying. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, there's maybe something they need to go away and work on. You know, as a weakness again. Richard Cox this afternoon, obviously that's Jake's dad, for those who don't know, from West Ham Unofficial. Souček being selfless to allow depth to progress in the game, according to Moyes. That's a good point, though, mate.
I don't.
You know, usually Souček was the one doing the runs forward.
True, but I think that's being a bit. I think that's Moyes covering him a bit there.
He has been poor. No, he has. There's no
because
he got caught out yesterday.
Yeah, he got caught out. And it's not just that, you know, he made a mistake. Players make mistakes, but it ain't just that. So far, and again, second half, as I said earlier, second half yesterday, I think he was probably our best player.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. He needs a rest. But I think the last couple of games in the first half yesterday, I don't know what he offers. If he ain't playing that role of going forward, what does he offer? He's not as good in the tackle as Declan. He can't pass. He can't take players on. If he's not doing that, arriving in the box, getting on the end of things, what is he bringing to the team?
Yeah, and it's not. I don't dislike the geezer, but I
no. Listen,
I think it is a rest.
Exactly that, mate. I'm not trying to dig him out. I'm not. I think he's amazing. I think he's a brilliant player, but he needs a rest because at the moment he's so tired. He's so knackered. I think the games are just passing him by. He doesn't offer anything at all. Like I say, second half he was getting into positions in the second half, and maybe we need to go back to that rather than just trying to accommodate Declan. Because yes, Declan's amazing. He's got a really good pass and the rest of it, but is Rice really that good going forward? Really? Not.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? You know, he scored that wonder goal, didn't he? You know, in Europa League, but you're not going to score that every week. You know, I mean, that's not going to happen. I think that's the problem. You know, when Rice scored that wonder goal against Watford, and it was. For every week, for about 5 or 6 weeks, he was taking that shot on.
Yep.
And it never went in again, did it?
No.
And he probably will score another one like that again in his career. But, yeah, I think, you know, sometimes you got to share that, you know. And, again, I'm not digging anyone out here.
No. I agree completely. And I think that's a thing with Rice. 100%, mate. He'll do something and it'll work. And then, like you say, that seems to stick in his head. And he'll be like, oh, I need to do that every time now. Like you say, with the weird free kicks for a while, where we were laying free kicks off to him. Never worked. You know, so I don't know. I think it's kind of put us out of balance a bit, and it's damaging Souček's game big time. But yeah, he does. He needs a rest massively. He needs a proper rest, not just a game off. He needs a proper couple of week rest.
Peter Jones says, how do you feel about the future testimonials? Apparently, the stadium is only allocated a certain number of matches. If we do well in Europe and the Cup, the allocations will be used up. Yeah, good point. Yeah.
It comes down to money, mate, doesn't it? You know, if we really want the stadium's not being used for anything else, is it? If we really wanted it to put a game on, we could put a game on. It's just we'd have to pay for it, and we all know that that's not something that Sullivan's going to want to do. Yeah,
no, that's it, mate. Souček needs a rest. So yeah, I've read that one already. Thanks for that comment, Pat. can't believe there's another international break coming up. Yeah, there is, mate. You know, after this weekend, there's 3 games again. That's the thing. But is it worth sacrificing 10 to 12 goals? Obviously, that's Souček and Rice situation. And no, it's not. You know, Souček's goals were vital last year to, you know, a lot of what we did just last year. Can Declan get 10 goals? It's that, and it's what's he got so far? Has he got 2?
Yeah, no, I agree. And Pat said there in the next comment, you know, he drives us forward when we need to. He does, and he's brilliant at that. He's really good at that. But he can do that anyway from a sitting position.
Yeah.
You know, he can still do that. It just you don't want to make that his entire game. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to. You don't want to make that his entire game, and then that hurts.
It's a really tough one. It is a tough one. It's a really tough situation. Who do you think we have who can? Ben Rama. Ben Rama's can curl a sweet one in, mate, from outside.
Nearly,
I think Bowen can as well. I think Bowen can, like, he does that Iron Robin thing, nowhere near as good as Iron Robin, but he's got that ability to, you know, chop across the ball and curl it in far post. He nearly did it yesterday.
That's Yarmolenko's bread and butter, that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ben Rama had a couple yesterday, didn't he? A couple of really good saves by their goalkeeper.
Yeah. Ask us anything now, guys, because we're just going to talk about a few other things and then we're going to wrap it up. Very much that Sullivan will fork out the extra money. I agree, mate. I totally agree. Whilst people are putting some questions in, mate, let's talk about the boxing to finish off. I called it, mate. I said I thought I fancied him. I know towards the end of yesterday, I was sort of saying maybe 8 or 9 for Joshua. Boxing clinic for me, mate. I thought he was sensational last night. I really, really did. I thought Usyk was amazing. But I've always liked him. I have always liked him.
No, you have, mate. You know, it was well deserved. I mean, I'm a big AJ fan, and it was.
I don't dislike AJ.
It was so. Yeah, right. I don't
dislike him. I don't dislike him. I wanted Usyk to win last night, and I want Fury to beat him.
I was disappointed. I think everyone said this. You know, if you read from people saying it straight after the fight last night, everyone's saying it today. It seems like the game plan was all wrong from AJ. He went in there and as if he could outbox him, and that was never going to work. Never. You know, everyone has said right from the beginning, Usyk is a better boxer. AJ has the size and the power advantage, and he needs to use that. And he didn't. He didn't use it. He came in too light. He came in, like you said to me yesterday, mate, it's the slimmest you've ever seen him. 100%.
Tiny.
Yeah.
He's still a very big man, but you know what I mean?
He's a big man, but he looked small, you know, and his advantage in that fight was his size. And he came in too small.
Didn't lean on him,
he didn't do anything. He didn't. And I've seen a few people say this as well. I know a few fighters have said it. He looks gun shy. He's scared to throw. I think after the first Ruiz fight, since then, and it's true, since then, he's been scared to let go. He's been scared to let his hands go.
I think, you know, when Usyk did catch him a few times with a left hook, he gets nervous that, have you hit that bit of my head that sends me? You know, because it's not his chin that's weak. He's got something here at top of his head or back of his head. He just goes, mate. Just goes.
I agree completely, mate. It's mental. It's mental with him. And honestly, watching him last night and watching him in his last fight, I don't know if he's got it anymore. I don't know if he's got that desire anymore. Do you know what I mean? I really don't.
I think Tyson Fury absolutely humiliates him, mate.
I think the only thing with the Fury fight, and I was saying this to a few people yesterday, again, there's no question when it comes to boxing ability, just like with Usyk, there's no question, you know, like Fury would box him to pieces. But Wilder caught Fury, and AJ's a better boxer than Wilder. That's the only thing I would say.
Yeah, I would say that Fury's more hittable than Usyk.
Yeah, that's the only thing I will say. And I don't rate Fury's chin. I don't. I think if AJ,
he's never been knocked out, mate. He's been knocked down, but he's not been knocked out,
mate. Wow,
you've got to put him asleep.
No one's put him asleep, but still, you know, I think. I don't know. I'd love to see it. I'd still love to see it. I think with that fight,
again, this could turn into an argument now. I know your boy Amir Khan, who I can't stand, That man ain't got a chin.
No,
He goes down, falls asleep.
no.
Fury's been knocked down 6 or 7 times in his career and never lost. That's a good
Listen,
chin. In my opinion, that's a good chin. If you can get knocked down and get up, you've got a good chin. There's difference between granite chin, like Canelo's and Golovkin's and, people that are just ridiculously good.
I think he's vulnerable. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no doubt, like I say, there's no doubt about it. If AJ went in and tried to box him, he gets beat up. If he goes in, and like I say, he's a better boxer than Wilder. If he goes in and tries to just open, obviously, if AJ fights Fury, which I don't think will happen now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was going to give you some scenario fights afterwards.
But if that did happen, obviously he's going to come in much heavier than he did yesterday. He's going to have that weight behind him again. I think it'd be a problem for Fury if he had the right game plan. See, this is a thing as well. Maybe it's time for AJ to change trainers. Maybe they've taken him as far as he can. Yeah, maybe he's taken him as far as he can go, because the game plan last night was terrible. It was shocking, absolutely shocking, completely wrong, all wrong. But like I say, maybe, and even if you watch his interviews, so they showed an interview before the fight, and he was doing an interview with 2 American blokes, and he was sort of saying, and he sort of said, if I lose, it's not the end and all the rest of it. Like, mate, you're a world champion fighter. Yeah. Why are you talking like that?
Yeah,
that can't even be anywhere in the back of your head if you're going into a fight. I don't know, mate. I don't know if he's got the desire anymore. I don't. I really don't.
But he's a very rich man, isn't he? Eddie Hearn looked like he was going to cry, actually.
I'm not surprised, mate. It wouldn't surprise me if Fury would not have been happy about that result either. He would not have been happy about that.
Right, mate. I'll tell you what. We'll play a little game. I've got some questions for you. A little scenario fight. So I'll give you some fights. You tell me who you think the winner's going to be. All right. So Usyk AJ rematch.
It depends. It depends. If he tries to do the same thing as he did yesterday, there's only one outcome. There's only one winner.
I think he puts weight on in the second fight, doesn't he?
I think he has to. I think the only chance he's got, and it's what he should have done in this fight, is to put the weight on, go out the bigger man, go out stronger.
In 5 or 6.
Yeah, and try and take him out early. Lean on him, put weight on him, slow him down, pressure him. That's what he needs to do, and that's the only way he can beat him. Whether he would.
How impressed was you with Usyk though? Was you this geezer's is the real deal?
Oh no, 100. But mate, we all knew that anyway. Yeah. I've never doubted his boxing ability. I didn't think. And I still don't think he has the power to trouble the heavyweight division. It was a terrible fight from AJ. And if some of those shots that caught him, there was a left hook that caught AJ clean, like swung him. His legs didn't go or nothing.
Didn't buzz
I don't think he's got, like I say, and I said this to you before, and he did beat AJ, but he beats AJ, he's not going to beat Fury. He's not going to beat Wilder. Where does he go now?
Even like like Dylan White. If he fought with Dylan White, I think Dylan White would just make it horrible and headbutt him and
exactly what like Chisora did it to him. Do you know what I mean? And those fighters are a level above Derek Chisora, 2 levels above him. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. 100% Usyk's the real deal. He's an unbelievable boxer, but I don't think he's got the power behind him to really make a...
Yeah, I don't think he'll stay there anyway. He might try and unify it if he won the AJ rematch. Next one, mate, Tyson Fury versus Wilder 3. Mate, more closer it gets, the nervous I get at it. I think Wilder's a dangerous man.
I think Wilder's done. I think he's done completely. I think his head's gone. I think he's done. After all the excuses and blaming everybody and the stuff he was saying about, his trainer was working with Fury's camp and all this, mate, he's a nutcase. He's done. He's gone. His head's gone. I think Fury will destroy him. I think he'll batter him. I think it'll be worse. Yeah. I think Wilder's done. I think he's done. I just said I think that Wilder would beat Usyk, but that completely different fight.
Yeah.
But I can't see any other outcome, mate.
Yeah. And now it's a shame. It don't look like AJ Fury will happen now for a long time.
I
For a
can't see
very
it.
long
I
time.
don't. I don't think it'll ever happen now, mate. To be honest, I
It's a
don't.
shame.
Unless the Usyk rematch happens quick and he
But they
knocks
saying
him out.
March. They're saying March.
If it happens quick and AJ knocks him out, it's back on. Otherwise, it's gone. That fight's gone. Because how many fights realistically has Fury got left?
Well, he said 5, didn't he? The other day when he was talking, he said he wanted the bodybuilder twice, AJ, Dylan White, and then I think he said he'd fight Usyk and someone else. I can't remember who it was. Is there any way that Usyk beats Fury?
I don't think. Well, I say I don't think so. No, I don't know, because Fury's a far better boxer than Joshua, and he's got even more size on him. No, I can't see it. It'd be a good fight. It'd be a really good fight.
Mate, that's the first thing I said to you yesterday, didn't I? So I think it would be a really, really good fight. But yeah, I think just again the size is again another level again, isn't it? Like it's another 2 inches taller, another 3 inches on the arm. Madness. Last thing on boxing, mate. What about Canelo and Plant, mate? What about that? What geezer that is? Are you a fan of Canelo?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I was just checking. No, I didn't know because there's sometimes there's people that are fans, but they go, oh yeah, but he was a drug cheat.
No,
I've always loved Canelo. I've always loved the guy.
He's arguably, again, Usyk's in that conversation now, but Canelo's pound for pound best boxer in the world. They can't deny it. You cannot deny it. The only thing, and I say this every single time I say it, I feel like Canelo is the most protected man in boxing.
Yeah. Bit like Callan Hatton last night.
That was a disgrace. That Hatton fight was an absolute disgrace. I see people saying afterwards that I can't even remember the lad's name now, the Spanish lad. I can't remember his name, but he when they announced the result, he didn't even seem surprised, mate. I saw people online saying it was probably in his contract. It's probably in that lad's contract. He come in at 6 days. We're going to pay you this much. You're fighting in front of 70,000 people, but listen, you're not going to win. Although he could have knocked him out. He really could have. He could have knocked him out. That was a disgrace. But no, Canelo is an unbelievable. And that's what frustrates me. He doesn't need to be protected. He doesn't need it. He's good enough.
Adaptable boxer I've ever seen. In terms of the strategies.
Yeah, he's good enough. But I hate that, he's never going to fight outside his own turf. He's never going to lose on the cards.
Never.
And it's
never.
You've got
to put him asleep.
He's never losing on the cards, and it's there you go. Took the Canelo Triple G, man.
That was a robbery. The first one was a robbery.
Yeah, like I say, you ain't going to Vegas and beating Canelo. You're not unless you knock him out. And I hate that he won't fight outside. That annoys me. That's what I mean when I say he's protected. But he's an unbelievable boxer. Unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable, mate. I think that's it, mate. No more questions. Anyway, guys, if you please hit the like button, as Duncan said. It really helps us out. It's been a great show, as always. I'll be back with my FIFA previews that you've seen. FIFA 22's out now, so I can start doing FIFA 22 previews. Not that good at it yet. That's why we got...
Marvellous Marvin, going back in time.
God rest his soul, Marvin. And obviously Tommy Earns, my namesake. Sorry, just go through these. Sorry, I'm late. When's a charity 3-round fight? Me and Paul did fight each other when we was about 15. My nose ended up against the wall, and then I gave him a body shot, and I took it too seriously.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's why. So for context, I do have some experience. I did used to box, right? So I do have experience, and we were mucking about, and I was only mucking about, and I could tell Luke's a very competitive person. He's a very competitive person. And he hit me with a body shot hard, and I felt it, and I was like, he meant that, and it was just
a jab pop to the nose, boom, and it just
pop, and that was the end of that. Now, why would we fight each other, man? Why would we fight? It's all love on this channel.
No, why would you fight each other? Listen, I teach boxing. I love it. I've never fought in a proper fight, but I love the sport, and I think it's a great sport for children and everything. I think it's just a brilliant sport in general. Thanks, top work. Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Loads of videos coming up this week. Rapid Vienna preview, Brentford preview, FIFA previews. my walk to work videos. Yeah, just great time. Channel's doing really, really well. We're only like 400 away now from 4K, which is brilliant. Any other things here? Love that story. Long time ago, long time ago.
That was a long time ago. Yeah.
But basically, what we used to do, we used to go around my mate's house, the Leeds fan. Yeah, and we used to, wrestling obviously was massive back then, a WW attitude, and we used to just do massive Royal Rumbles in his house at lunchtime. And then his mum would come home and go, why is there a big hole in the puffy? why is that door broke? Why's my meat gone? Because one of our other mates used to get the meat and use it as an ice pack when one of us had smashed up eye or something. And it used to be the year 10s versus the year 8s. Those were the days. And then we used to go back in school all red-faced, and the teachers would be like, what happened to you guys? And we was like, oh, we just had a little bit of fun at lunchtime.
Those were the days.
They were, mate. What great times. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you to Paul again. We'll be back next week. Hopefully I'll do a live show, watch along next week. Until next time, guys, come on, you irons, keep believing, hit that like button. Let's go.